نويت أربعين توزلا وتخالوا ونتريادا وتسلوا حسبنا الله ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم مدد يا صاحب السيف سرع بني مدد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We are seeking shelter in Allah and running away from shaitan. And let's begin with the shahadat. The man who begins with the shahadat, he begins on a very firm and strong foundation. The power of the shahadat is the greatest power in the world. So let's say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. This shahadat is what the prophets they came to teach. To believe in Allah, to get rid of all other ilahs, all other objects of worship other than Allah. All prophets came to say this. Every prophet came to say to their nation, La ilaha illallah. In whatever language, Allah is saying to every nation, we sent a prophet. So there are prophets being sent to nations that we know and that we don't know. And every prophet came to say, La ilaha illallah. Turn your face away from this dunya, this world, away from the false idols in your heart, and turn your face to Allah. And the first one to do it in this world was Adam alayhi salam, the father, our father Adam. And he was teaching that to his children, saying to his children, O my children, I am your father, but I am also your prophet. And Allah has sent me to teach you to turn away from this dunya, to turn away from the idols that you have put in your heart to Allah. And I am the messenger of Allah, Adam Rasulullah. To reach to Allah, first you have to reach to me. Follow me, obey me, and I will bring you to Allah. And he's saying to his children, O my children, your mother and I, we are different from you. You were born here, but we came directly from paradise. Remember, O my children, the father was saying, remember, this is not our home. We were kicked out from our original home. We were kicked out from our paradise and we're sent here as a test and as a punishment. Awliya Allah, our Shaykh, Hazratleri, saying also one of the reasons why Adam alayhi salam had to come to this world was when he ate from the forbidden fruit. Because it was forbidden to him, it was the wheat that he ate from, not apple. When he ate from that, his stomach started turning upside down, and he felt the need, first time ever in paradise, he felt the need to release and to relieve himself. But in paradise, there's nothing dirty in paradise, nothing. No dirtiness inside, no dirtiness outside. In paradise, you will eat and you will drink, and you will not become dirty. There's no dirt that comes out. That's why the Ahlul Paradise, the Ahlul Jannat, while they're living in this world, they don't make dirtiness. Just like Holy Prophet ﷺ. Everything that comes out from him was pure and it was clean and it was from paradise. The higher level Sahabis, the higher level saints, they follow in that same direction too, same footsteps. What they eat and what they drink, it turns into roses. It turns into a perfume. It doesn't turn into something that is dirty. We carry the toilet inside of us. Understand, oh man who is so proud, oh the women who are so proud, walking on this face of world, and not understanding and recognizing and loving your Allah and your Prophet. Those who think themselves to be so high, we are carrying the toilet inside of us. If we don't get rid of that toilet business, then we will not be admitted to paradise. If we don't get rid of all the dirtiness that is inside of our heart, paradise is forbidden for us. Everyone wants to find their maqam. So many coming into tariqats to know their stations. They want to be told that they are high stations. They want to be told that they are saints. Our Shaykh Hazrat is saying, everyone's maqam is in the toilet. When you sit there, that is your throne. That is your maqam. Did you finish the toilet business? You haven't, so don't talk too much. Don't talk too much. So Adam alayhi salam and our mother Hawa ate from the forbidden fruit, looking around to see where to relieve themselves. They cannot, because paradise is not admitting any dirtiness inside. Then they were sent down to this world. This world is a toilet. So now Adam alayhi salam was teaching his children. His children. He came directly from paradise. After some time, his wife, our mother Hawa, gave birth. Gave birth to twins every time. It was unusual birth. Gave birth to twins. It did not last 9 months. It was very quick. It was very fast. Adam alayhi salam was also not this finger tall man that we are now. 6 feet tallest, 7 feet even if it was 10 feet, still very tiny. Because when Adam alayhi salam, he was sent to this world, when he stood on the mountain of Serendip, begging forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the mistake that he made, we are shy to say he made a sin. We don't say the prophets, they make sins, they make mistakes. He did something there. When he was standing on the mountain of Serendip, his head was touching the first skies, the first paradise. He was so tall. And he was crying. Day and night he was crying. He was standing on one foot, begging Allah for forgiveness and saying, Ya Rabbi, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, crying and crying and crying and crying. He was crying so much, and the angels, they loved him so much, they started crying too, because they heard his crying. And they were not able to do their duty, their work, because they were so sad, and they were crying all the time. Because Adam alayhi salam, Safiullah, he was crying too. They were also begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he was so tall, his head was reaching the first paradises, and he was interfering into the work of the angels. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him shorter. His sons became shorter, his grandsons became shorter, smaller, 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 and now we're in the Akhir Zaman, we're the smallest ones. So the wrong actions will make it to become small. Adam alayhi salam, he stood for 300 years on one foot begging Allah for forgiveness. For one mistake, we say, that he did, that he didn't even want to do it by himself. Because Allah forbid that fruit for him to eat. His mother, our mother, his wife, took it, told him to eat it, begged him to eat it. It's a long story. It involves so many things. And those disobedient sons of Adam that is inside of him was screaming to him from the inside, yes, Father, eat it, eat it, eat it. Because of that, he ate from it. He was sent to this world. He was separated from his wife. Hawa was in Jeddah. And Adam alayhi salam, he was sent to Sri Lanka. Of course, at that time, this world was one piece. There was clear separation between the world, the land, and the water. World was one piece, land, water was one piece. Now scientists are discovering that. There's one piece. It wasn't until the time of Nuh alayhi salam that it became patchy, like it is today when you look at the map. Ireland here, continent here, this here, that. And before that, it was just one piece. So he was standing and he was asking forgiveness 300 years. He did one mistake, that he didn't really do it by himself. And he's begging Allah for 300 years. How many mistakes we do every day? How many times we ask for forgiveness? Or we become arrogant and stubborn and in ghaflat to say, it's okay. He was begging for forgiveness. Don't think he was begging for forgiveness because he was separated from his wife, that he was so sad. Don't think that he was begging Allah for forgiveness because he was separated from paradise, that he was so sad. He was begging Allah's forgiveness because he was separated from his Allah, from his Lord, from his Lord's mercy. That's why he was begging for forgiveness. He did not care for paradise. He did not care for his wife. He did not care for nothing. He cared only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, he loved his wife, but he's putting Allah as priority. When was he forgiven? When was he forgiven? He was forgiven when he says, Ya Rabbi, forgive me for the sake of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was not even born. He was born thousands of years later. This is for those materialist people who are saying Prophet is just a man. When Prophet ﷺ said, I was a prophet, I was already a prophet. When Adam ﷺ, he was not yet created. He was between water and clay. I was already a prophet. And when the question was asked to Adam ﷺ, how do you know of this name Muhammad ﷺ? He said, I remember when Allah blew one holy breath to me and I opened my eyes. And immediately in front of me, above me, underneath the throne, I see the words, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illa Allah Muhammad Rasulullah. They said that name of Muhammad والسلام, was placed next to your name. No other name except for that name was next to your name. So that one must be very special. For the sake of that one, Ya Rabbi, forgive me. And Allah forgave him. So, those who are saying, ask directly from Allah, don't ask for the sake of anything else, who don't believe in shafa'at, who don't believe that the prophets, they can help you, that the awliya Allah, that they can help you. Those ones completely, they are in the wrong direction, because our father Adam alayhi salam, he was forgiven because of the shafa'at of that name, because of the intercession. And on the day of judgment, all the prophets, they are waiting for our Prophet ﷺ to intercede for them. All mankind is going to run to Adam ﷺ. Day of judgment. This is a hadith sharif. They know how much trouble they are in. We know how much trouble that we are in. And we're asking for help now. That time, go ask Allah. Like so many people now say, no, don't ask Prophet, don't ask awliya, ask only Allah. When we ask Prophet, who Prophet asks? Himself? Idiot ones. If we ask awliya Allah, who the awliya Allah is going to ask? Themselves? They always say, Allah, help them, Ya Rabbi. They always turn to face their Creator, their Lord, because Allah loves them and they love Allah. On the day of judgment, all of humankind is going to run to Adam alayhi salam, begging him, we are in trouble. We know how much trouble we are. Please help us. Speak on our behalf. Plead on our behalf to our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Adam alayhi salam says, I cannot. I myself am in trouble. I ate from the forbidden fruit, although He has forgiven me. I don't feel right 100%. I'm paraphrasing to make people to understand. I myself is in need of shafaat. They run to Nuh alayhi salam. You are the second father of mankind. Please beg Allah, help us. Forgive us. Nuh alayhi salam says, I cannot, because I prayed one time for Allah to destroy the whole world, and He did. I myself, I don't know what trouble am I in. They run to every prophet. They run to Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam saying, I cannot. I smack a man so hard, he fell down dead. Yes, I myself is in need of shafaat. Then they run to Isa alayhi salam. They sing, Ya Ruhullah, help us. We are in need of help. And Isa alayhi salam says, I myself am going to be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because my nation, they say that I am Allah and I'm the son of Allah. Until Holy Prophet ﷺ comes. Then everyone from prophets to their nations turn to the Prophet ﷺ and says, yeah, he has come. Ahmad has arrived. Ahmad has come. Ahmad is the name of the Prophet ﷺ in paradise. He has come. And they asked him to pray. He went into sajda. He will go into sajda to Allah, and Allah saying, rise. This is not the time for worship. He says, Ya Rabbi, I'm asking and I'm begging you. And Allah says, ask. You are my beloved one. Whatever you ask, I will give. He says, I'm asking for forgiveness, Ya Rabbi. I will grant it to you. Ask more. I'm asking for intercession for all of mankind, Ya Rabbi. Ask more. I've already given before you have asked. I've already given before you asked. That is the Maqam al-Mahmud that the Holy Prophet ﷺ will possess on the day of judgment, that he will sit there, yes, on that maqam, on that throne. Adam alayhi salam, when he told his children, La ilaha illallah, Adam Rasulullah, and to them also he's saying, if the last prophet comes, we must follow him. Because every prophet told their nation also of the coming of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Some of the children, they believed him. They say, Samina wa ta'na. We hear and we obey. Some of his children say, oh, father, you have grown old. You become senile. There is no paradise. There is no hell. Don't you see what we see, what we taste, what we hear? This is all that there is. This is real. Nothing else is real. Some believe and they were saved. And some did not believe. From that time until judgment day, they're in trouble. Like Qabil. He's in trouble. Because when our mother was pregnant with two, male and a female, always giving out. The Shariat at that time was that if the male and the female was from the same, birth, it's forbidden for them to marry each other. If it's from a different birth, the Shariat was they were to marry each other. And Qabil broke that Shariat, disobeyed his father and his Lord, and wanted to marry his sister because of ego. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed so much mercy to him too. Islam came to clean everything up. Islam came to fill in all those empty spaces, to take out all the mystery, all the wrong teachings, all the deviations from the pure teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is not as other books or other religions, they are teaching that, well, Allah just happened to favor Habil and not Qabil. Allah just happened to favor Abel and not Cain. Cain has no reason, no real reason that Allah is not showing mercy to him. But Allah just arbitrarily, without any real reason, just decide to favor Abel. Then Cain did wrong things and killed his brother. And all Cain wanted, all Qabil wanted was for Allah to love him. No, it's not. There were so many instances that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showing to them to teach us also about man's inner qualities, whether it is good or it's bad, and which one is stronger. If your good is stronger, then be happy and praise your Lord. If your bad is stronger, then look for help and step on your ego. And Qabil, when the order came that Qabil was to marry Habil's sister, and Habil was to marry Qabil's sister, so they were born male, female, male, female. They were to marry like that. Qabil was not happy with it. He was upset. Then his father knew this is a very bad thing, to be upset with the orders of his Lord. His father had first-hand experience, warning his son. Then Allah is saying, and I will accept sacrifice from them. Tell them to sacrifice. And Habil was a shepherd that time. He was taking care of the animals. When the order came, he took his best, most beautiful, fattest sheep for sacrifice. Qabil, he was a farmer. He was planting. When the order came to him, he did not take the best that the land has to offer that he planted. He says, Allah has no need for this. Whatever that was good that he harvested, he kept. Whatever that was on the ground, he picked up, and he says, this is for my Lord. So the fire came down from paradise, circling around with the two offerings, and it took Habil's sheep, and it left the grain that was picked up from the ground. And that was the same sheep that was later sent down to Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam to be sacrificed. That was the sheep that was from the time of Adam alayhi salam. Then that sheep was sacrificed, and that sheep's head, it was put in the corner of the Kaaba from the time of Ismail alayhi salam until the Holy Prophet alayhi salam's time. And those were one of the things that Yazid, when he burnt down the Kaaba, which at that time the Kaaba was made of wood, that the horns, the head of the sheep, the ram's horns, that was destroyed. It was still existing. So many other things that they found also when they rebuilt the Kaaba. Amongst them, there was the offerings of Dawud alayhi salam. Dawud alayhi salam, no, he was given the secret of bending metal. So swords and chain and mail and armor and everything was there. So many things. Anyway, so 3 times Allah giving a chance to Qabil. And 3 times Qabil, because of his arrogance and his stubbornness, says no. And later, he became completely disobedient to his Lord, and because of his ego, because of his desire, he went to his brother who was sleeping. He picked up a rock to kill him. Although his brother was bigger than him and stronger than him, and when his brother opened his eyes and sees his Other brother about to kill him, he didn't stand up to fight. He says, I fear from Allah. And Qabil then killed him, took his sister and ran. And from that time until now, the lineage of those who are disobedient to the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are disobedient to the kalima, who are disobedient to the teachings of the prophets, who are obedient to their desires, who are obedient to shaitan, who are obedient to this dunya. From that time, that lineage is still continuing until Mahdi alayhi salam's time. And that is going to be now a battle between these two lineages, one representing Haqq and the other representing Batil. We're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us on the way of Haqq, on the way of truth. Not for us to be fooled by our ego and by shaitan. It's coming in hundreds and thousands of different ways, tricks and traps. We are very fortunate and we are very happy that we have one who is representing the Prophet that we are holding on strongly to. Our Shaykh, Sahibul Sayyid, Shaykh Kibrisi Rabbani, who is holding on to our grand Shaykh, Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim al-Haqqani, who is the Mumasil of the Holy Prophet ﷺ for these times. Seek means to come close to me. Seek means to come close to me. This is an ayat. And we were looking for one and Allah has given us. That means that urwati wuthqa, that firm handhold. Stronger that we are holding on to our Shaykh, the safer that we are going to be, because in these days, the winds, the typhoon, the tsunamis, they are hitting everywhere. Confusion is hitting everywhere. The confusion and the tricks and the traps of Dajjal, it is very great, that Holy Prophet ﷺ prayed for his nation 1400 years ago. He did not take it lightly. He did not tell his nation, well, just say Medat, everything will be okay. No. You have to be trained. You have to be taught to open our eyes, not to be in ghaflat, to know what is coming from Haqq and what is coming from Batil, and not to be tricked by this confusion of Dajjal. That Holy Prophet ﷺ said, even the ones in the graves, they are going to be tested by the confusion of Dajjal. Our Shaykh is teaching us to live simply, to take whatever little that we know of our religion and to practice it sincerely, to be good people, not to run around in this world too much, to serve Allah, to serve Allah's way, not to fight, not to argue. We don't even fight and argue with people who are hating us. We don't say to Wahhabis even who are hating us that they are shaitan people who are following shaitan 100%. They are saying the shahadat, no? There are some teachings, wrong teachings that they are picking up that is coming from shaitan. But we are not being busy with that. We are being busy with dealing with the shaitan that is inside us, inside our hearts, to take it out so that our shahadat can become really strong and clean. May Allah forgive us for the sake of this holy month. There's so much to talk about, so much to understand, so much that our Shaykh is sending us. One day, inshallah, we are ready, more will come. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fatiha. Ameen.